What up, Devil? Sensei Toot here. Just want to do a little deeper dive on EOS of the dollar right now, just to discuss our options, and this will, I guess, this will apply to Bitcoin as well. See, what are we? Is this A, B, C done? Is this B in? Do we have another leg up? Or even if we do leg up, is our bear count right? What is the next play? Where's the long? I mean, I think that right now we're in a flat right here, and that we're, the next play is, I would never trade this with you guys, just because I don't want to leave anybody in the dust. I'm cognizant that, some newer guys might try to follow along and get hurt, but I think that, there's a pretty damn good chance that there's a long opportunity to here, because this looks like it's a 335 playing out. You can't see it on the 6-hour chart, but not really concerned about that right now because we're not going to play that. We're looking for a long. So I have the two counts marked here that we're looking at. We have the 1, 2, 3, 4 extended fifth coming down to correct that now, and that's looking pretty decent. Remember, extended fifths find support in the area of wave 2 of 1 lesser degree, and you see here I marked out my previous price action. Actually, I'll go ahead and delete this, and so I can show you guys how I mark price action on charts. Yeah, so find support in the area of wave 2 of 1 of the extended wave. Now, just finding support doesn't mean that we're all of a sudden in a bull option and this is a big 1-2. Could be. Let's figure that out. But you can find support here, and maybe there's a bounce play to be had for what it's worth to wherever it goes. So as you see, the main macro count we have is an A, B, C. So at completion of this 5 wave, we're expecting new lower lows. But we're not sure which count it is, and we'll take a look and see if this is actually the bear and what is the potential trade setup. So first things first, let's look at the relationship between this A and B, or I should say A and C for the B. It's kind of like no man's land, huh? Let's see. Let's check the 127. Still kind of out there. You don't have to hit your high probability fib zones. You don't have to hit fibs to the tick. Sometimes they're out here in no man's land. Maybe this is an indication that there's some sort of resolution to be had. Maybe we get something like this. Remember, if this wave comes down past this high here, then this yellow count is out. No longer an impulse. But as I look at this more and more, that extended fifth wave, the extended fifth is sort of my favorite count at the moment. Still close. So let's look at just some previous price action and some support from that. I like to look at the VPVR when I'm doing that. And I just automatically, I leave this red line on because I don't like to leave, some of you guys know I'm pretty OCD about my charts. I don't like to leave shit on there, crapping it up. That's why I don't use some of the more popular geometry tools. Yeah, so I'll just mark lines off where I find price action support. And I think of these more as in zones than lines. But I mark it with lines because, again, I do zones. I do zones, as you see. But I don't like shitting my chart up. the zones are shitting it up. So I mark a line here. And then, I'll take a high volume node potentially and mark it there. And, as I'm looking at the high volume node, I'm looking at the price action. I'm trying to get as many touches on this line as possible. And it looks like this is actually a good one right on that high volume node again. Not surprising because typically it is. And we'll just go ahead and mark that one as well. And I don't only use this VPVR tool for that. It's just part of it. Because really, you could get a high volume node where you don't see a significant pivot, like here, for instance. I'm gonna mark that too. I'm gonna mark it right there, actually. Which would just come down to the invalidation range. So maybe mark it a little higher. No, I like it right there. Sorry, this isn't fun, but I just wanted to show you guys how I'm doing this. Because I do take this quite a bit into account in my trading. yeah, so see this pivot here. It's got a giant wick. I was looking there to mark this, and then I look over and check my VPVR node at the same time. Oh, look at that, shocker. Like right on top of each other. All right, so get this shit off my chart. So we got some price action support levels here where we could get some pivots, whether we're in a bear or a bull, you know, whether we're going up for another big impulse or we're just getting a bounce in a three wave. And we're at one of those spots where we're not real sure. So you might have to play technically counter trend because if you think about it, you know, you want to, when I say counter trend, I mean counter trend at the degree you're trading. And to me, in my mind, I'm trading waves of like this degree. That's what we're doing together here, like waves of this degree. So like for instance, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it in this video, I had recorded this a little bit once before, but my mic was muted. I fully expect a 335. I think I did mention this. So yeah, I would potentially look for this, and I wouldn't want to play this 5, at least not with you guys, but I might ladder up and go short from here because you would expect a 1-to-1 relationship out of that. And now, of course, if we do that, we're going to violate some stuff. So let's pull a fib on the whole move. So we've got this bullish algo in play, and that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I would say that this is a pretty good indication there's a bullish algo here. Doesn't mean we won't break right through. Look at that support line right in the golden pocket. So at the very least, I think that there's a good play of potentially shorting this. And then having it take profits set here, you know, that's, you know, I'll trade this size move with you guys. This move here, having it take profits set right in the golden pocket, if not all of it, or just at least, you know, however you guys want to handle your position, but at least like a third of the profit, and then, you know, another profit in this area here, and then maybe close around here. Yeah. That could be the next play. So that's what we'll probably look at. And I won't, you know, as this is setting up, we'll talk about this. I'm going to look for a clear 5-wave count up. So we're going to have to come down to like the 5-minute chart in order to see that perfectly. So yeah, maybe that's the next trade we'll stock is a short in here. Think about a short in here. And, you know, the more experienced of you guys, you feel free to play this as well. You know, look at that reaction. So you're only going to get like that. But I mean, and if you go down a lower degree sticks, you do see a 3-3, and then, you know, hopefully this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming up. So yeah, we'll look at that, and if we don't get it, we don't get it. I don't mind being on the sidelines missing if it dumps down here, as opposed to setting some orders when we're not sure what count we're in here. You know, you know, just setting longs, because if this turns out that this is a completed B wave here, and this is a 2, and we're setting up for a flat 2, well, extended waves typically happen after flat corrections, you know, or they're usually buttressed by flat corrections. So there's a flat usually on one side or the other. But when you see a flat in wave 2, a flat correction is a sign of underlying strength of trend. So if we see a flat here, we can, you know, you see it in a zigzag a lot, but if it's in an impulse, well, I say a lot, but you see it more in a zigzag than a wave 2, or B of a zigzag than a wave 2 of an impulse. But if this does turn out to be an impulse and a flat, that thing could rip. But of course, seeing the flat here does give you a little bit more indication that this might be a zigzag. But of course, we're still going to come down here, violate the wave 3 count at least, and then if we're in an extended fifth, you know, this is an impulse down anyway. So really, this flat is not a good indication for anything bullish where you would take a long in here. So the next idea might be a short then. So we'll trade 1 degree lower potentially. So we'll say we're trading with this trend here. So basically shorting a retrace. So that's what we'll look to do. And this thing's already going green. So yeah, this is playing out nicely already. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to look for. We're going to look for something like this. You know, I was going to take a look at the macro on this video, but I don't want to make it too long. Really, I care about talking about trading with you guys because you guys have shown a lot of interest in our thoughts on trading. So I'm trying to take basic trades with you, make some money along right beside you. So yeah, if offered, I'm thinking that. And then that would stick us with our extended fifth. And playing that, we're going to then have to call this the alternative. So short that with the anticipation that you could get this. But I'm going to want to take some profit here. You know, I'm going to, if this wave is this big, just because of the uncertainty, depending on the violence of the move, I'm probably going to be taking profit and maybe re-adding along the way. So our first profit take would be in this golden pocket. And then, you know, probably just north of this 786, and then at the 1-to-1, and then we'll look to add on a retrace. So we'll say 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. That sounds like a decent little plan of action right now. So let's see if we don't make any money. So you know, you guys can scalp this if you want. I'm not looking to do that, especially with you guys. We're gonna look for a 5-wave up. We're gonna have time. I'll post a chart. We'll look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once we see like the 3 coming in, then we'll do some micro projections and set some ladders. All right, boys. Good luck.